A quiet evening in a small village nestled in the hills of Tuscany. The sun's dipping low, painting the sky in soft oranges and pinks. I'm sitting on a stone bench, sipping a glass of water infused with fresh lemon from a nearby tree. Chatting with an old Italian farmer named Marco. He's in his late 70s, lean as a reed, with hands rough from years of tending olive groves. I ask him, "Marco, how do you stay so fit? No extra weight, no huffing and puffing up these hills?" He chuckles, taps his chest, and says, "I eat what the land gives me. When it gives it, no rushing, no fussing. The body knows what to do." That moment stuck with me. Over the years, I've wandered from the bustling markets of Bangkok to the serene wellness retreats of the Himalayas. From cutting-edge research labs in California to ancient healing centers in Japan. I've trained with athletes, sat with doctors, and listened to elders who've lived long, healthy lives. And everywhere I went, one question kept popping up, especially for folks like us. In the middle or later years of life, how do we lose that stubborn belly fat? Not just lose it, but let it go in a way that feels natural, steady, and kind to our bodies? Today, I want to share what I've learned, not as a lecture, but as a story about how our bodies work, why that belly fat hangs on, and what we can do about it. No magic potions, no quick fixes that fizzle out, just real, practical steps you can take, starting today, to feel lighter, stronger, and more like yourself. Let's walk this path together, step by step, with a cup of tea in hand and an open mind. The puzzle of belly fat. Why it stays. Years ago, I was in a dusty little town in Morocco, sipping mint tea with a shopkeeper named Fatima. She was in her 60s, with a warm smile and a figure that showed she'd lived well but carried no extra weight. I asked her about it. Curious as ever, she shrugged and said, "I eat when I'm hungry. Stop when I'm full. The body doesn't need more than that." Simple, right? But it got me thinking. Why doesn't that always work for the rest of us? Why does belly fat cling to us like an old friend who won't leave the party? Here's what I've pieced together from years of asking, watching, and trying things myself. Our bodies are like clever storehouses. They save energy, fat, for times when food might run low. Back when humans roamed plains or farmed fields, that was a lifesaver. If a harvest failed or winter dragged on, we had reserves to tap into. But today, most of us aren't facing famines. Food's everywhere, on the table, in the fridge, at every corner store. So, those reserves just sit there, especially around the middle, because we never need to use them. Now, imagine your body as a cozy fireplace. It's always burning something to keep you warm and moving, your heart beating, your lungs breathing, your mind dreaming. When you eat, you toss fuel onto that fire. Sometimes it's quick burning stuff, like bread or sweets. Other times it's slower, steadier fuel, like nuts or meat. The trick is, your body has an order to how it burns things. It uses up the quick stuff first, the sugars and starches from your last meal. Then it might dip into the fats you ate. Only after that's gone does it start pulling from the woodpile out back, the fat stored on your belly, hips, or thighs. But here's where it gets tricky. If you keep tossing quick fuel onto the fire, like snacks or big carb heavy meals, your body never gets around to the woodpile. It's too busy burning what's right in front of it. And for a lot of us, especially as we hit middle age or beyond, our bodies get stuck in that pattern. We eat, it burns. We eat again. The belly fat stays put, like a guest who's overstayed their welcome. I saw this play out in a research center in Sweden once. Scientists there were studying how people's bodies handle food as they age. They told me something that stuck. After 40 or 50, your body gets pickier about what it burns. It likes routine. If you give it sugar all the time, it forgets how to use fat. That rang true. I'd met folks in their 60s in rural China who ate simple meals, rice, greens, a bit of fish, and stayed trim. Then I'd see others in cities, munching pastries and sipping sodas, and their middles told a different story. So, why won't that belly fat budge? Sometimes it's because we're giving the body too much fuel too often. Sometimes it's because stress or habits keep it locked away. But the good news? We can change that, not with willpower alone. That's like trying to push a boulder uphill with your bare hands. but with a few gentle shifts that work with your body. Not against it. The fuel game. What we eat and when. Let's sit down for a moment. Maybe on a porch overlooking a quiet lake, like one I visited in Canada years back. I met a fisherman there, Tom, in his late 50s. He'd row out every morning, catch his supper, and eat it with some greens from his garden. No fuss, no extras. Keeps me steady, he said. I noticed he had no belly to speak of. Despite his age, it made me wonder, what's he doing that so many of us aren't? One answer lies in what we feed ourselves and when. Back in Japan, I spent time at a traditional healing center where they taught me about balance. Not balance like standing on one leg, but balance in how we fuel our bodies. They said, too much sweetness tires the system. Too little strength leaves it weak. They meant that what we eat sets the stage for whether our body burns fat or stores it. Here's how I see it. After all these years of watching and learning, food comes in 3 big buckets. The quick stuff, think bread, pasta, sweets. The steady stuff, like meat, eggs, or cheese. And the slow stuff, nuts, oils, avocados. The quick stuff, carbs, as some call them, turns into sugar in your blood fast. Your body burns it right away, like dry twigs on a fire. But if there's too much, it stashes the extra as fat. The steady stuff, protein, keeps your muscles strong and your belly full. But overdo it and some turns into sugar too. The slow stuff, fat, burns like a thick log, steady and long, without spiking anything. Now, here's the catch I learned from a doctor in India. Your body's like a wise old librarian. It deals with the loudest books first. She meant that when you eat a lot of the quick stuff, say, a big bowl of pasta or a sugary snack, your body has to handle that sugar rush before anything else. It's urgent, because too much sugar floating around isn't good for you. So, it burns that up, or stores it, and the fat on your belly just waits its turn. A turn that might never come if you keep eating that way. I saw this firsthand in Thailand, at a bustling market where vendors sold sticky rice and mango desserts. The locals who ate those daily often carried extra weight, but up in the hills, where folks stuck to fish, greens, and a bit of rice, they stayed lean well into their 70s. It wasn't about starving, it was about what they chose and how often. So, step 1, ease off the quick stuff. Not all at once. Our bodies don't like sudden shocks, but little by little. Swap the morning toast for eggs, the afternoon cookie for a handful of nuts. In a wellness center in Greece, they taught me to start the day with olive oil and herbs instead of bread. Wakes the fire gently, they said, and you know what? It worked. I felt full, not frantic, and my middle started to soften over time. The timing trick. When to eat, when to rest. Now, let's wander to a memory from Peru. I was hiking with a guide named Rosa, a woman in her 60s who moved like she was 30. We stopped for lunch, some quinoa and roasted veggies, but I noticed she didn't snack between meals. No need, she said. I eat, then I let my body rest. That stuck with me, because it's something I'd heard echoes of everywhere, from monks in Tibet to nutritionists in London. Our bodies aren't meant to eat all day long. In nature, food came when it came, after a hunt, a harvest, a catch. There were gaps, times of rest, but today, we graze from dawn to dusk, cereal at breakfast, a sandwich at lunch, chips in the afternoon, dinner, then a late-night treat. That constant drip of fuel keeps the fire busy, and the belly fat untouched. In a research lab in Australia, I watched them test this idea. They had folks eat the same amount of food, but some spread it out all day, while others ate it in a shorter window, like 8 hours. The ones who gave their bodies a long break from eating, they started burning more fat, not because they ate less, but because their bodies had time to switch gears, to dip into that woodpile out back. This isn't new wisdom. In Spain, I saw folks enjoy big lunches, then rest. Dinner was light, late, and that was it till morning. In India, some fasted a day a week, not out of hardship, but habit. Cleans the system, they'd say, and science backs it up. I've read studies showing that when you stop eating for a stretch, your body shifts. It lowers a hormone that locks fat away and boosts one that sets it free. So, try this. Push breakfast a little later. If you eat at 7 a.m., nudge it to 8. Then 9. Over a few weeks, bring dinner earlier, say, from 8 p.m. to 6. Shrink that eating window. In a retreat in Bali, they had us eat 2 meals a day, late morning and late afternoon. At first, I missed my snacks, but soon, my body settled into it. I wasn't hungry, just lighter. Moving the body. Gentle and steady wins. Let's take a stroll now. Back to a memory from New Zealand. I was walking with a Maori elder, Hemi, along a coastal path. He was in his late 60s. Broad-shouldered, no spare tire. We move every day. He told me, not to punish ourselves, but to live. He didn't sprint or lift heavy things, just walked, fished, tended his land. It was enough. I've trained with athletes in Brazil and yogis in Nepal, and one truth shines through. Movement matters. But it doesn't have to hurt. As we age, our bodies don't need, or want, harsh workouts. In a gym in California, I saw folks in their 50s pushing too hard, only to eat more later because they were ravenous. Contrast that with a group I met in Italy, walking their hilly streets daily. They weren't winded, just steady, and their waists showed it. Here's what I've learned. Your body's always burning a little fuel. Even at rest, keeping your heart pumping, your lungs filling. Moving adds to that. A walk around the block, a dance in the kitchen, a stretch by the window, it all counts. But the key? Keep it gentle most of the time. In Japan, I joined folks doing Tai Chi in a park. Slow, flowing moves, keeps the energy alive. They said, it didn't leave me gasping. But I felt it working. Every now and then, a little burst is fine. A brisk climb upstairs. A quick bike ride. But too much? That's when stress kicks in. I learned this in a stress clinic in Germany. Hard exercise can make your body crave quick fuel. Like sugar. To recover. Gentle movement? It nudges your body to burn fat instead. Without the panic. So, start small. A 20-minute walk after dinner. A stretch while the coffee brews. In Costa Rica, I saw seniors gardening every morning, bending, lifting, digging. They didn't call it exercise. But their bodies thrived. Find what feels good, and let it grow. Calming the mind. Stress and the belly connection. Now, let's sit by a riverbank. Like one I found in Scotland years ago. I was with a woman named Elsie, a retired nurse in her 70s. She'd knit by the water. Her hands steady, her face calm. Life's too short to rush. She said. I noticed her slim frame and asked her secret. Peace. She replied. Worry puts weight on you. She was onto something. Everywhere I've traveled, from meditation halls in Thailand to clinics in Switzerland, I've heard the same. Stress and belly fat are old pals. When you're tense, worried about bills, kids, or tomorrow, your body senses danger. It thinks, I might need to run or fight. So, it holds onto fat and craves quick energy. Like sweets. In a lab in Texas, they showed me how stress pumps out a hormone, cortisol, that tells your body to store fat. Especially around the middle. But here's the flip side. Calmness sets fat free. In Tibet, I sat with monks who meditated daily. They ate little, yet never looked frail. The mind tells the body what it needs. One told me, I tried it, 10 minutes of quiet. Just breathing. At first, my thoughts raced, but over weeks, they slowed. My cravings faded too. You don't need a mountaintop. Sit in a chair, close your eyes, breathe deep for 5 minutes. In a wellness center in France, they taught me to picture a calm sea. It's not about emptying your mind, just softening it. Less stress, less cortisol, more fat burning. Simple, but powerful. The power of pausing. Fasting made easy. Let's travel to Egypt now. I was in a desert village, sharing flatbread with a man named Ahmed, in his late 50s. He fasted every year for a month, not eating from dawn to dusk. It's not just faith, he said, it wakes my body up. He was trim, energetic, despite the heat. I'd heard this before, in Greece, in Mexico, in studies from London. Pausing food works wonders. When you stop eating for a bit, your body runs out of quick fuel. No bread, no snacks, no twigs for the fire. It turns to fat instead. In a clinic in South Africa, they explained it like this. Fasting flips a switch. Your body says, okay, Time to use what's stored. It's not starvation, it's a rest. A reset. Start small. Skip breakfast once a week. Eat lunch instead. In Brazil, I met folks who ate one big meal a day, dinner, and thrived into their 80s. No rush. They'd say, I tried it. Lunch and dinner at first. Then just dinner. My belly shrank. My energy grew. You can too. Ease into it. Listen to your body. And watch it shift. Putting it all together. Your path forward. So, here we are, back on that Tuscan bench with Marco. The sun fully set now. I've shared what I've gathered, from Fatima's mint tea to Rose's mountain meals. From Hemi's walks to Elsie's peace. Losing belly fat isn't about fighting your body. It's about understanding it, nudging it gently, and letting it do what it's built to do. Start with less quick stuff, bread, sweets, pasta. Add more slow fuel, nuts, oils, fatty fish. Eat in a shorter window, maybe 8 hours a day. Move steady and gentle, walks, stretches, a little dance. Calm your mind, 5 minutes of quiet. Pause now and then. Skip a meal when it feels right. It's not a race, it's a rhythm. In every corner of the world, I've seen folks live this way, naturally, simply, into their later years. You can too. Take one step today. Swap that cookie for an apple. Walk to the mailbox. Breathe deep tonight. Your body's ready to let go of that belly fat. It's been waiting for you to say yes.